It's too late.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Now we're live.
Now we're live.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like this. It really does explain. Like whenever I try to watch Jose's show on Sunday, it always feels like I'm coming in at the middle of the show, even though I'm watching it from the very beginning. Because I guess what it is like he hits
go live and that's
go live and starts talking, and he doesn't realize that it takes a little bit for it to kind of like come up. So that's like he's always in the middle of a sentence whenever I start watching. So it's like it's kind of like now.
You ready for this shit? Oh, wait, are they ready? Good morning, motherfuckers.
Oh,
It's March 6th, 2023.
Oh my goodness. Oh. No, I am not ready for this. But you can give the button a little pow and get the thing going.
Get these juices flowing.
There you go. Yeah, let's.
Monty Moore. I'm a 30-year comics veteran in comics, games, and movies, and you've been watching one of my absolute favorite podcasts, Catch the Craze.
You are watching Catch the Craze.
What am I listening to?
And you're listening to Catch the Craze.
Where are all the indies at?
A Catch the Craze podcast.
What are you watching?
I'm watching Catch the Craze.
What are you going to do?
Subscribe now to Catch the Craze, the #1 show online for independent.
Have you subscribed to?
You are an independent. Catch the Craze. Making moves on your own. Catch the Craze. On your grind in the streets. Catch the Craze. Join the movement. Catch the Craze.
And that's it, because I forgot what I was doing.
Oh, no.
Good morning,
it is. Good morning, Nita. It's Monday, right? This is look, my post-its are a mess, but this is how I know it's Monday. Oh my goodness. So who's joining us in the chat today?
So far we've got Rob Multari,
hello,
we've got Ukraine,
hello.
Allison, and London Gothic.
Oh, hello. Welcome. And yes, I see you, the 7 people watching me next to my giant eyeball from regions beyond. And technically you're watching both of us. Even though it's like it's on. Oh, and Chad. And Chad. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yes. But yes, I do see you watching us from regions beyond. And if you're watching us from Facebook, if you're watching us from Twitter, make sure to come on over to YouTube. Join our sexy people in the chat. Join Chad in the chat. Keep him company.
He'll be back in 5 minutes. You got a timeout.
Already. It's like, dude, you just got here. And already you're in timeout. Jesus Christ, man. It's like we're gonna have to it's going to
You know
be
he doesn't do anything, right, Daphne? He just shows up.
He just shows up. Time out. Poor Chad. We abuse him so. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So welcome everybody to another edition of the Rage Into the Vlogs show. I guess we had a guest that we had to reschedule, but that's okay. So we'll figure this out as we always do on our own.
We already rescheduled. We were gonna have Rodney Fike. He was gonna come on and he was gonna talk about, Haslam's doghouse.
Oh yeah, doghouse.
C. Michael. So C. Michael's home today.
Ah.
But anyway, what's cool is they're gonna be here Friday.
Oh, so, very nice, very nice. So we can all be one big happy family.
We're just gonna flip this shit this week.
There you go. Yeah, everything's on a Friday now. Oh my goodness, where am I? Oh, okay, hold on. I got my wrong cue cards up.
Introduce yourself before Efrain strokes out.
Oh yeah, no, yes. Efrain is like waiting there with the watch. He's like,
who are you?
Oh yes, it's like, well, who am I? Well, hello. My name is Daphne Lage, and I am a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. I've been self-publishing since 1992, and you know what that means.
I got nowhere else to go. I got nowhere else to go. I got nothing else.
That's today's theme today. Oh, I am known for the furry fantasy adventure Tall Tales. We're fighting here. Tall Tales. I am known for the furry fantasy adventure Tall Tales, which again, thank you so much for everybody who supported the Peacekeepers campaign. I will be sending out surveys today, so make sure that you fill everything out. So I haven't gotten the books yet. I'm supposed to be getting them this week, hopefully. So I'll be able to get everything out as soon as possible. And speaking of campaigns, I am also known for my medieval fantasy soap opera drama, Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, which returns to Kickstarter very, very soon with issue 6. I still can't believe it. And, and it's like, look, and I still can't believe how this book is coming out. I cannot wait for issue 6, for you guys to see issue 6. I swear to God. But in the meantime, you can read both my comics online at Tall Tales, TAILS online.com and egoworks.com, EGOWORKS. And you can check out all my videos on how I make my comics here on YouTube at my channel at Daphne Lage Art, which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. And to tell you more about it, here's Nita.
What's up? My name is Nita Lanning, and I'm a writer, vlogger, blogger from Southeast Louisiana. And I have 2 YouTube channels, Indie Comics Network and Indie Comics Network After Dark. Yeah. They have shows and shit and things.
Right. And things. So make sure that you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified every time we go live, either on both of our channels, on all of our channels. So make sure you don't miss a thing, and so that way you don't miss Chad either, because he has
come on. If you're watching and you've never subscribed, go ahead and subscribe and come on over and love us. Show us that love, because then we'll have like 600 subscribers and we'll be like, yay. I don't know why that seems like a milestone, but it is. I mean, It is tough. It is tough getting that. I mean, look, it's like ever since I read the statistic that 80% of the people who watch YouTube channels regularly never subscribe. I mean, it's like that even though we have 600, or almost, we're 2 away from 600 subscribers. It really does make sense why on one hand, YouTube doesn't put any real, emphasis on subscribers in terms of the algorithm, right?
But they still give you certain milestones because of subscribers. The first one's at 1,000, the next one's at 100,000, and I think the one after that's 1 million. And you get some nice plaques at 100,000 and 1 million. And at 1,000, we may or may not be monetized. So
we won't be.
I know. We're awful.
We're too bad for.
Yeah, I know. We're too naughty. But the thing is, though, it's like, good morning. So that's kind of like this. Getting to 1,000. Look, I've been on YouTube for, I don't know, I've lost count, 6 years, I think 6-7 years, and I'm still just squeaking under 1,000 subscribers, so it's like, look, sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, right? But we're going to be talking a little bit about that in a minute. So do you have any
I have a bunch of people I want to give a little nod to real quick.
there you go. So go ahead.
Okay, so from Hasm on Kickstarter, we have Doghouse issue 1, Who Cut the Cheese. Be sure to go ahead and, I guess, pre-order. I'm stuck in a loop, Daphne.
Right, yeah.
Anyway,
again, it's like, just so everybody knows, Nita is still having issues with her internet. So if she kind of glitches out or disappears behind her icon, that's why. So
yeah,
keep going,
okay.
keep going. We're gonna keep going.
All right. And then we've got Sparkle Dog, The Legend of Sparkle Dog, Don't Say a Woo. Issue 1 is coming soon to Kickstarter. Sign up for that. William Russell has Psycho Sal issue 3 that is available on Kickstarter. Corey Hardiman of Attic Door Comics has Sister Mercy issue 8, The Last Tomorrow, which is the final issue in the current arc, I believe. That's coming soon. That's, like I said, Kickstarter. Misfits Clubhouse is in its last 3 days. That's from Matt and Steph over at InSim Creations. Misfits Clubhouse, Sharks, Dragons, and Little Red Wagons. Tom Hutchinson has Penny for Your Soul coming out. It's in pre-launch on Kickstarter. Of course, Daphne. Ego Raven.
They're the first unicorn issue 6.
There you go. All right. And sign up on Kickstarter. Hojo is over on Indiegogo with the Mythicals. Don't forget that. Also, Luke Stone and Nicholas Tockert have Hybrids double feature RPG and trade paperback on Indiegogo. And let's see. God, there's so many.
Yeah, I know.
Rosin has Boston Metaphysical Society. I believe it's Mystery of the something Peaks.
Or another.
Mystery at Pikes Peaks issues 1 and 2. And Isaac Fox has of Astral Creations has on Kickstarter Mistress Izumi's Adult Lessons and Pure Intent issue 2.
There you go.
And Ben Dunn. Don't forget Ben Dunn has Tomorrow Girl. The early years,
the early years. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, really, there's just so much. There's just so much going on. And just recently, congratulations to Tyler Carpenter, who had another successful run on Kickstarter with The Girl with the Mega Fists, which is currently on doing a really short campaign on Indiegogo. So if you missed it on Kickstarter, head on over to Indiegogo to give The Girl with the Mega Fists some love. So, and look, and there's so many more campaigns that we haven't even touched on. So make sure you go into the show notes, hit all the links, and especially head on over to the promos page where there's even more campaigns in our Facebook, on our Indie Comics
The links
Network,
to all these will be there as soon as we're done.
Facebook page. There's just so many campaigns. It's hard to remember all of them, but congratulations to everybody for even trying. You get
a sticker.
Yeah, everyone gets a gold sticker, just for making it this far. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So it's like I just wanted to also show off something that I had gotten. So the other day I showed off Visenia Lindsay's Celestial Pulse and Pulsetober book, which, look, I absolutely adored. I mean, I just flew through those 9 issues, and of course it's like I'm like going, where's issue 10? So if you missed out on Celestial Pulse, you can head on over to ViseniaDesigns.com and you'll be able to pick up Pulsetober and Celestial Pulse, her manga comic series, on her website. But at the same day, it was like Christmas that day. But the thing is, though, I can only simp one at a time. So I kept forgetting to say anything about this until now.
Who we simping?
We are simping the one, the only Greg Dark One Williams.
Geez.
Of Animal Mystic fame. Yes, I just received Chlor, Blood and Sand, which is a reprint of the original. I think the original that came out from Sirius Publications like years ago. Like I had to find my original copy on eBay because I don't know where mine went, so I had to rebuy it. But then I had to buy, of course, his other books. I had missed a previous campaign that he did for, I think it was Paleo Planet. So luckily he had it on his campaign as well. So I was able to get Chlor, and I was able to get this as well. And I couldn't be happier. I swear to God. I mean, if there is anybody that I simp, it's this guy. It's anybody, because I swear to God, it's like I want to like save up my money so I can get like a nice Eager Raven variant cover from him. It was just like that's one of my bucket list, things. So it's like, but I don't want to talk to him unless I have like a good chunk of money to be able to make sure that I can get what I want from him. But it's like, so yeah. So like I said, this is a reprint of an original issue of the trade paperback with new material, which I think there's a new story in the back, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. It's painted by Kevin Elf Murphy, who actually shared some of his painting process with me in my DMs, and I couldn't have been more chuffed. I mean, it was just like, this is all hand painted. As far as I know, and it's just come on, you need this in your life. So this is from Tribal Staff Studios. So if you missed out on the Kickstarter, I'm pretty sure there's links on where to get copies of your own. I'm not sure if this cover was a Kickstarter exclusive or not, but it was really, he made it hard to choose which exclusive covers to get, because he had another one that Elf did that was like Frazetta's
yeah, that one was awesome.
Yeah,
that was the one I wanted.
Yeah, but it's like, nah, man, I need the cover with my girl Jatari on it. So it's like, yeah, so yeah. So find his book on Kickstarter, Chlor, Blood and Sand, and most likely there are links there on how to get your copy from this. And this is the this is Planet Dark One, book 1. This contains his Paleo pirate short. What's funny is that I know I might have an original issue of this that I picked up from him at a convention a long time ago. And it's like, and I told him this was years ago. And I go, look, bro, whenever you decide to put out another Animal Mystic book, I am there. Whenever you do it, my money is ready for you. So I told him that back then. And I would like to think I'm keeping my promise, because oh my God, I was so thrilled to get this. Like I said, and I know for a fact he's putting together a book of I think like a remastered collection of Animal Mystic with new material. The same thing here. So I am absolutely there. So I was just very thrilled. It was a very big day for me. So I thought I'd just finally show that off, but yeah, so so that's so from the high of having artwork, seeing artwork and work from people who I admire and whatnot, and it's like and just being completely inspired. Also, while we're talking about chasing highs, I am halfway done through color correcting Eager Raven issue 6. And like I said, I swear to God, I cannot wait for this issue to come out. This is the first issue out of the series so far that's utilizing my new style right now in both penciling, inking, and coloring. And well, the coloring's been the same, but the inking and penciling especially is a little different. If you just put it in context, when I completely finished issue 5, that was in 2017. So this was, yeah, exactly. So this is the first issue where I'm using, I guess, my current kind of style, inking style and penciling style, and it coming together with my coloring style at this moment. It's just, I can't wait to get this out. I am so excited with how it's coming out. The coloring really works with, I see, the funny thing is, like, I've been working with this, trying to like testing this style and working with this style and massaging it for like even on the shorts and stuff, but for some reason it's just coming all together on this issue, and it's like I am completely thrilled, and I'm hoping in probably like by the end of this week I can have, I can pretty much have it done, kind of sit on it for a couple of days just to get all the corrections, like minutia corrections done. And then I can finally send it out to the printer to get proofs before I launch the campaign. So hopefully by the time I launch the campaign for issue 6, I will have proofs in hand. So I am just, I am just thrilled. Again, it just reminds me as to why I do this and why I do what I do and how I do it. And it's just, I can't wait to share this with everybody. So, but on that note, I have to kill the vibe. On that note, I have to kill the vibe. So
you get to rant.
Maybe, I don't know, but I did read something that was pretty upsetting. So, so for the past couple of shows, the Sunday show with JD Calderon, right? Rosario has been mentioning this article. Well, he had mentioned several times being at New York Comic Con, a previous New York Comic Con, where I guess either, I don't remember if he was on a panel with the guy from Webtoons or he was watching a panel with the guy from Webtoons. I don't remember. But the thing that really amazed him was the guy, one of the owners from Webtoons was on stage saying how Webtoons made around like $800 million in whatever year that he was talking about. And this kind of really stuck with Rosario. And he, like for the past couple of episodes on Sunday that he's been bringing up Webtoons, it's like, is this really the future of comics, right? It's like, is this where we should all be? And and I think like combined with the conversation about where's the new generation of comic book readers, where are they, the new generation of comic book readers, where are they and what are they reading? And in my opinion, because there is a very reluctant consensus about this, so I'm not going to say that there's a consensus.
They're in their bedrooms reading manga,
right? That actually the future of comics might be manga, or manga, as the dirty New Yorker says. As my Queen's accent, it's manga. So but the thing is though, manga's not on Kickstarter. These books are not coming out of Kickstarter. I mean, where are the kids getting them? They're getting them from more enlightened comic book shops like Midtown Comics. They're getting them mostly from Barnes and Nobles. They're getting them from Walmart. I know that every time I see people, it's like I follow Saturday AM, which is like, I think like the third largest manga producer in the United States right now, out of, I think like Viz and Tokyo Pop are ahead, apparently, of course. But I'm not sure if Saturday AM really holds that distinction but they're, they put out a lot of stuff, and the stuff that, and the fact that they are in Walmart, they are at Barnes and Nobles. They're constantly posting, and not only that, they're overseas too. They just recently posted up people buying their books in Ireland, people buying their books in in just other countries. So it's like, wow, I mean, it's like, yeah, this is, maybe this is where, that's why I was doing all these experiments with trying to like, what would an Eagle Raven Tankobon look like? What would a Tall Tales Tankobon look like? But the thing is though, is that, right, they're right, they're even at Five Below, exactly. But the thing is though, like for me personally right now, it's like, as much as I got like an initial feel for what it would look like, you see, the thing with manga is that they run on a completely different distribution system,
Right.
you know, that benefits this other market. So so for me right now, where I am right now, as much as it would be nice to put in that effort to put together you know, like tankobons of my books, it's not really worth it for me to do that right now, to not spend that time to do that, because I'm not in the model yet that would benefit that work. So I figured, okay, let's put a pin on it. Let's save that. That's going to be a future me problem. You know, it's like, or a future me thing to put together. You know, it's like a tankobon of Tall Tales and Eager Raven. So we're going to put that aside. So then, you know, Rosario's talking about Webtoons, and, you know, and it's like, okay, you know, it's like I was on, you know, it's like, yeah, okay. You know, and it reminded me of an article that my mother had sent me a while ago, but it resurfaced because now it's like I can't find it in my WhatsApp messages. I had gotten a new phone, so it deleted everything that I had before. So, but luckily the article popped up again. So, you know, with him talking about, you know, so with Webtoons like really fresh in my head, and I showed you on a previous episode where I actually, while he was talking about is Webtoons the future because it's making, you know, all this money, I was putting together quickly a sample of like what would Eager Raven look like as a Webtoon strip. Now the thing is though, I was on Webtoons back in, I think like maybe 2017, 2018. I was on there for probably about 2 years, and then I just took everything down because I wasn't really seeing anything in terms of movement between Webtoons and anything else I was doing. You know, it's like I was getting like a couple, you know, I was getting like, I think I might have had like a couple of thousand views, but it just wasn't like that's just where it stayed. So
Right.
in the end, I decided it's like, you know what, I'm going to take everything down or whatnot, and I'm going to, you know, not worry about it. But, you know, I guess there's a resurgence of Webtoons very recently because I guess the pandemic really shot their shit up to the stratosphere. So here, let me share this article that popped up. So okay, here we go. So this is the article. It's from Fast Company, which so, you know, and it's a very short article. How Korean Webtoons are changing the comics industry and the careers of creators, right? Because also I've seen other people on Twitter reference this article, like, oh, Webtoons is the future and blah, 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 right? And there was one particular part of the article that was quoted. But here's the thing. Okay, so here we're talking about according let's see that Webtoons is outpacing manga as a industry. So oh yeah, here we go. Like in December, The Economist has reported the Japanese manga market, which is 1.9 billion, has now been eclipsed by Webtoons. And Webtoons, and then of course Webtoons are being tapped for adaptations in the booming South Korean film and television industry and beyond. Webtoons boasts more than 85 million active users. Last year, it took in $856 million in revenue on gross merchandise volume of 1.3 billion. And over the last 2 years, some of its comics have been turned into K-dramas. Now, of course, they're saying artists, that the artists around the world can be able to turn their creations into full-time careers. Really, okay. And then, okay, so here's the quote that really stood out for me. Between 2020 and 2021, Webtoons paid out more than $27 million to its base of more than 120,000 creators who publish in English. In Korea, the company's oldest and most mature market, creators earn an average of $250,000 per year. The top creator earned around $9 million in 2021. Now, that's a really impressive, this, like I said, that paragraph in particular was getting circulated on Twitter. And it's like, whoa, really? But there's something strange about this paragraph.
Uh-oh.
There's something, so it's like, so something wasn't like, especially when they go on to talk about how, like they're now linking to Hollywood, because it's like Webtoons is owned by a tech company. It's not, it's a bunch of venture capitalists and a tech company. And, they're getting stuff, put into like film and TV and what the 30 Korean dramas just based on Webtoons things alone. But this paragraph was bugging me. Why was it bugging me? That's where my shit math comes in.
Oh, right.
So here is Webtoons saying they paid out more than $27 million to its base of more than 120,000 creators who publish in English. You know what the math on that is? $225 per person for a year's worth of work.
Wow, we're going to be ballers.
So here's the thing. The second I got that number in my head, the rest of the paragraph got super sus for me.
Bro.
So it says here, in Korea, creators earn an average of $250,000 per year, with the top creator earning $9 million. One person earning $9 million. So my math being what it is, so I decided, let me throw this. Let me toss what I have here to Jose. It's like, you know what? He's like gonna go, it's like, okay, so it's like, $225 per person. Now the thing is though, how many creators are on Webtoons? They just do the ones that are just getting paid, right? So I looked it up. Now, mind you, Webtoons being a private company, as far as I can tell, they don't have to divulge numbers. And they don't, So I got the number that kept floating around for total creators is 130,000 creators on Webtoons. It's a little bit over, but, like I said, they don't have to divulge shit being a private company. So, okay, so let's, for argument's sake, because in the end, I'm just running off of what few numbers I can find. Let's just say it's the top 1% that's making all this money. Let's just say that. Okay, so 1%, that's 1,300 people. Let's just say that, okay? Because again, I'm kind of pulling this out of my ass because I'm not getting accurate numbers.
Right.
Just by doing Google search.
We're guesstimating.
We are completely guesstimating. So running on that assumption, so 1,300 creators are top tier. They're the top 1%, right? That are probably, because that's usually how it works in a lot of these industries. Out of 130,000, so if 120,000 are getting paid, then 8,700 people are getting paid nothing on Webtoons. Okay, so all right, that's fine. We were talking about the Kickstarter thing where it's like what was the numbers? That 1,800 campaigns raised less than 1,000. So, and then it's like I forgot, and I think like I forgot how many don't even fund at all.
Right.
It was about like 30% of Kickstarter, that comics Kickstarter, that they don't fund at all. And the ones that do, it starts at $1,800 raised less than $1,000. Right. Yeah. Well, yeah. No. There. You see, because the thing is, though, it's like I really do think that this is more of an investor puff piece than it is an actual, kind of like an actual overview of of the market, because it's like I said, it's a very short article, and it's completely written in a way for you to gloss over the information. Because honestly,
I think we should stop discrediting it, and from now on, those writers that we get that are trying to make comics for screenplays would be like, "Hey, dude, you go to Webtoons, your chance of getting on screen is even bigger."
Right? You know,
Go
I
over
mean,
there, go to
really,
Webtoons.
you know,
Get out of my Kickstarter.
yeah. So, you know, so now here's the thing though. So if you're going by the highest paid, 35%. Thank you. Yes, I knew it was around 30%. They don't fund it all. Right. So if they're admitting that one of their people, one person got paid $9 million, right? The amount, considering how much money that Webtoons is saying that they made in profit, everything that they've paid out to creators, even at their highest level, only makes up about 3% of their profit. And even then, if you consider that maybe they're not even counting this as their profit, like I said, their numbers are kind of, I'm not really finding anything accurate. They're not as clear cut as Kickstarter, where you can find all different types of variables for their data.
Right.
So we're talking about their creators that allows this platform to exist only makes 3% of what the parent company, of what this tech company and its investors make. You know, so it's like, you know, it's like, I mean, especially when you start considering that a lot of their top creators are actually accusing the company of not being transparent with their numbers with them, you know, and that they feel like they're being like they're being cheated out of money as well. So, but I don't know like the specifics of that, so I'm not going to get into that. But then Jose brought up this thing. Just because their highest paid person made $9 million doesn't mean they made that off of Webtoons. You know, and Jose goes, is that counting what they're getting from the TV shows that are being made of their stuff? Is that counting ancillary merchandise? Because he goes, they're probably mixing in a lot of other outside payments in that count for 9 million. So this one person, you know, their actual money that they're getting from Webtoons might be smaller, you know, but here's the thing. So do we all remember this meme, Spiders George? Does everybody, you know, I guess everybody on Twitter, if you were terminally on Twitter for the past couple of years, do you all remember the meme Spiders George? So there was this meme that was going around saying the average person eats 3 spiders a year. Factoid is actually just a statistical error. The average person eats 0 spiders per year. Spiders George, who lives in a cave and eats over 10,000 spiders each day, is an outlier and shouldn't have been counted. Does everybody remember that?
Mm.
You know? So that's what came to mind when I was kind of sussing out this paragraph. You know, and especially if you scroll down, they have they interview the top 6 the top 6 people on Webtoons, and all of a sudden the talk about money stops when they're showing. They only show how many views that each person gets. You know, so if I bring this back up, right? So if we go to the creators, right? So here they have True Beauty, I think, is their number 1. I'm assuming this is the person who's making $9 million, who made $9 million. Views, 6 billion. So but the thing is, though, they don't say how much she actually made. You know, all of a sudden, everybody is only talked about in terms of what their view count is. 206 million. This person got 2.7 million views on her comic strip, on her strip on Kickstarter. All of a sudden, like the numbers, how much the company and the executives were making. Oh, we can talk about the $800 million all day. The individual creators, yeah, let's talk about their views, right? So right, so. Oh, we're going to get to that in a minute. We might go over because I really want to talk about this. So here's the thing, right? Are people really making as much money as they're saying the average person is making on Kickstarter? I mean, on Webtoons, right? And here's the thing. Why are averages misleading? Averages are misleading when used to compare different groups, apply group behavior to an individual scenario, or when there are numerous outliers in the data. This is how averages work. If I'm making $0 and Nita is making $100, our average is $50. The thing is, though, I don't have $50 in my pocket. I have $0 in my pocket. Nita has the $100 in her pocket. But if you go by averages, you would say, oh, you're each making $50. No, I don't have that $50.
I would give you $50 if you had $0, Daphne.
Right, I know, and it also reminded me of another story that I remember someone had mentioning on Twitter, where they were talking about that there was a particular school whose, I guess, like kind of like either one of their business programs or whatnot, had an unusually high average salary. People like, well, holy shit, you can make 6 figures on that degree on a salary. Turns out one of their graduates with that degree went on to play to the NBA, and they were figuring his NBA salary in their averages.
Oh my goodness gracious!
And from what I read, that's actually pretty common. It's like it says. Let's see. For example. Misleading averages. For example, a university wanting to attract new students may provide an average annual salary for graduates of their school, but there may only be a handful of students who actually have high salaries, but the salaries make the mean income for all students higher. So here's this article. So it's like, you know what? No, I hate to break it to you. You are not going to make $250,000 on Webtoons. You're probably not even going to make $250 on Webtoons.
I think you're going to be taxed for it.
Yeah, right. Exactly. What's mostly going to happen is that you're going to crank out shit for Webtoons that other people are going to be making money on because they're selling advertising on your ass. You're never going to see a dime of that. But maybe you'll be able, maybe at best you'll be able to take that audience and maybe try to parlay to, Patreon or to your Kickstarter or to whatever crowdfunding or to your online store. Maybe. Okay. Remember, these are kids who are only buying their books. They're jumping from Webtoons to manga that they're predominantly buying it at Barnes and Nobles and Walmart and whatnot. That's the thing, right? Because even the people who are making this bank, and they're the outliers. That's the thing. They're the outliers that should not have been averaged in. But like I said, that's why I think that this piece is a puff piece for investors rather than being a realistic, and also it's a puff piece for the average person who is going to read it. Oh, holy shit, you can really make that much money on Webtoons? Not really. Any more than you can. Right. Exactly. And it's like any more than you can make $1 million on Kickstarter for by not being Keanu Reeves. And see, and that's the thing. So it's like, if you want to now here's the thing. If you want to look at Webtoons as getting more eyes on your stuff, sure. Like I said, I was getting a couple of just in its shittier iteration. I was getting a couple of thousand people looking at my stuff. I just couldn't translate that to anything. And just like, but I was able to put together, a brand new Webtoons thing, just to test. And it's like, okay, maybe in the future, this might be something viable. Maybe when I do the tankobons, you see, that's the thing. Maybe Webtoons has to work in conjunction with the tankobons that I'm kind of thinking of doing. That's like, okay, if I had the distribution model that put me in bookstores, maybe Webtoons would make sense to me, because then I could say you can go to your Barnes and Nobles and pick this up. Again, it's kind of like that convenience that a lot of comic book people keep talking about. Your mainstream is not growing because there's no convenience in buying comics. With manga, there's hella convenience. You can go to Five Below and pick up manga. You can go to Barnes and Noble. So it's like, it's very easy. So that's probably the way that you jump from using a platform like Webtoons and getting people who wouldn't, who are used to not paying for comics. And you get them to, well, if you go to Barnes and Nobles and find my tankobon there, you could read the entire story. So you're taking advantage of two things that these kids are used to, that they're already familiar with. Now, so the thing is, though, now that the music, I think, is a good transition to something else, because I was like, so I reread the article. So, I was like, so of course, you're talking to the top 6 earners on Webtoons. It's like, oh, what does it feel like? It's like, oh, it feels great. It's like, of course they're going to say that. But this was another paragraph that got me. Okay, so we're going to put this up on the screen. This was another paragraph. And honestly, I got cold chills. I really got, it's like, okay, so where's my article? So I went to the last one, the last person here, who does a book called Unordinary, views 1.3 billion. So what does your work life look like? I spend probably 90% of my time working on Unordinary, so it makes up a large majority of my business. Things I do on the side includes drawing monthly prints on Patreon and selling merch to my readers. I also try to post extra content on social media for laughs. Eventually, I'd like to write other stories as well. It's like, wow, 90%. I mean, it's like, okay, this is her schedule. What's it like creating on a Webtoons weekly schedule? It was very overwhelming at first because drawing 70 plus panels a week is a lot for anyone to handle. Burnout is an issue, and oftentimes I wish the deadlines weren't so frequent. But after doing this for several years, I developed a reliable system that makes the creative process more manageable. I've also learned to prioritize certain parts of the creative process over the others. Again, why did this paragraph bother me? So I did my wonky math again. She says, okay, let's stick with that number. She draws 70 panels a week. If I go by what I do, and I usually max out my page panels at 6 panels, at 6 panels per page. Now, of course, you could fit in more, but I usually try to keep it around 6 panels. She's literally doing the equivalent of 11 pages a week. Full color, lettered, the whole thing. Right. Yeah. I think so. Yeah. No, exactly. It's like, yeah. But that's the thing. So she's doing the equivalent. If I was to match her schedule, I would be cranking out 11 pages a week. On her schedule, a year's worth of work would be 572 pages. That means 18 for 32. For if you're doing a 32-page book, I would be cranking out 18 issues a year. I would have been fucking done with Eagle Raven by now. Right? If you're doing a 24-page book, that's 24 issues. That would be 1.5 pages a day, a page and a half a day. I would have to do in order to keep this schedule. And she's contractually obligated to keep this schedule. I swear to God, I almost started crying when I looked at these numbers. If I had wanted, right. You see, and that's the thing, and that's the thing too. So it's like now all of a sudden, what Clip Studio Paint, all the assets in Clip Studio Paint offers now makes complete sense to me. Because if you have to crank out 11 pages a week, you are doing whatever the fuck it takes to get those pages out. Even if it means fucking pasting in photos, tweaking it with a filter and calling it a day because you literally do not have the time. Yeah, they're paying her money, but she has to hire people to help her keep this schedule.
Right.
They have her, and that was also a complaint that when, along with, keeping, the actual earnings away from them, hiding actual earnings from the creators, but also forcing them to keep a manhwa mangaka schedule, where you're literally, it's like, look, could I do this? Could I crank out 11 completed pages a week by myself if I was doing fucking nothing else? I mean, it's like, look, my ass hurts just being in the chair for as long as I have to be just doing what I can do right now. I probably, maybe I could do 3 a week. It's like from scratch, maybe 2, 2-3 pages a week. Bitch has to do 11 she's contractually obligated to do 11 pages a week. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you're getting paid money, whatever your royalties are, but you have to now split it up with a whole bunch of different people just to get this work done. And okay, and you know what? And look, and bringing Tyler up, I can count on my one hand how many people I know who could do that many pages a week. Who could probably do it. Ben Dunn does a page. He says that he does a page a day. But the thing is, though, he's not coloring it. He sends it out to get color, right? Fred Perry, Gold Digger. Holy shit. This guy has been cranking out pages. 300 issues, more than 300 issues in his career. Again, you can count on one hand how many independent creators have accomplished that. Tyler Carpenter, he's been cranking out, all these different trade paperbacks, like he said, he can crank out 12 pages, on top of a full-time job. It's like he was talking about how he had to move one of his systems to another room so he could actually be in the same room with his kids, so he could still work. Like I said, I can count on one hand how many people in independent comics can do this schedule. I'm sweating just looking at these numbers. Honestly, it's like the fact. Now think about that. Imagine doing all this work for $225 a year.
We don't want to go to war.
Trying to keep a copyright strike from happening.
Trying. Yeah.
So that's the thing. So is Webtoons the future of comics? I don't know. Could it serve a purpose? Sure. Like I said, it's like for me, Webtoons wouldn't make sense for me to put Eagle Raven back on Webtoons unless I had this right. Yeah, exactly. And now I understand why. Yeah. I completely understand why. You know, when you have to crank out that many books and that many pages, that many panels, and here's the thing. Again, speaking averages, but the average person looks at a comic book panel for 30 seconds.
Yes.
You know? So it's like you're cranking out. It's like she says she spends 90%. It's like, yeah. So not only that though, you're hiring people to clean your house. You're hiring people to do your laundry. You know, you're hiring people to do your food because you don't have time.
Nope.
You don't have time to do all. It's like when do you do anything else? And then she's talking about how she still has to send people to Patreon. She's still doing artwork for that. She's doing she's doing whatever
and stuff on the side.
Right, exactly. You know, so it's like, you know what? Honestly, that's not if that's the future of comics, they can have it. You know, to tell you the truth. Because I can only imagine what my shit would look like if I had to crank out 100, if I had to crank out 11 pages a week. You know, I mean, yeah, we're talking about. I mean, really, it's like Tyler says. It's like they have these character sheets that every angle, and then they just puzzle them together. You know, puzzle the characters in together. You know, I mean, it's ridiculous. But like I said, if this is the future of comics, they can have it. You know, now, am I saying that Webtoons is a complete waste of time? Absolutely not. Because like I said, if your thing is about getting more views on your book, on your title, then Webtoons might be, you know, a way to do it. You know, but just remember what the expectation is on Webtoons. You know, whether you're making $0, $225 a year, or $9 million a year. You know, this is the expectation that you know, that it's like you have people who are ravenous for content and they'll eat anything. You know, so it's like, you know, and you know, so it's like. You know, so yeah, so if all of a sudden I were to have do the tankobons and was able to get my stuff in Barnes and Nobles and Five Below, or, you know, all these other places in Walmart, then doing Webtoons would be worth it. Putting together, you know, and the thing is, though, I wouldn't be doing anything from scratch. I would just be taking the material that I have and formatting it for it. So it's a lot less time. It's not like I'd be doing this work from scratch. So it'd be a lot less time. You know, I'd get the eyeballs, and then I'd be able to send people. It's like, oh, did you like this? Go to Barnes and Nobles. Go to the next time you're at Walmart. The next time you're at Barnes and Nobles. The next time you're at Target. The next time you're at, because again, it's like you have to remember the audience. This is an audience of convenience. This is an audience that's not paying initially for your work.
Right.
So how do you get them to transfer over? You make it as convenient as possible for them. Go to Amazon. You know, it's like you can buy my work on Amazon. You can buy, you know, so I think that it works, that Webtoons would work in conjunction with other things. You know, it's like I you know, so I don't want, but what I want to stress upon people is that when you see numbers like this, when you see the average creator, really sit down and think about that. Because what it is, most of the time they're counting in outliers that should have never been counted. You know, honestly, it's like, even if you take out because if you take out the outliers, even if it was like if there's 1,300 outliers, you're still averaging $200 a year, but that does nothing for the people who are making $0, because they're not making that 200. It's being averaged out. You know. No, yeah, exactly. You know, yeah. You see, he put Grow with the Mega Fists for free on Global Comics, got 5K views, and 20 of them came over to the Kickstarter. Yes, it really is a numbers game. You see, and that's the thing that I keep. It's like, yeah, it's a numbers game. And here's the thing too: it is not a get rich quick scheme.
No.
There is absolutely nothing about what we do that's get rich quick. You know, so people are looking at Webtoons. It's like, oh, this is how we get rich quick.
No,
it is not. You know, because that goes into another thing.
it's how you burn out quick.
Right, exactly.
Like,
You
if
know
you're going
how-
in it for money,
right,
you're going to
right.
be slave. You are going to be driven and
Right.
work to the bone. You will not have time to
Right.
complete other things. I
Right,
mean, unless you have
exactly.
the means to hire out and,
Right.
and constantly
You know?
outsource.
And here's and that's the thing. So articles like this make it look like, oh, just do a stupid webcomic. Yeah, that's what they count on. This is what Webtoons is counting on. This is how they get more creators on the platform. Because remember, they're making money off of the advertising they sell off of your back. You know, because again, 3%. And here's the thing too. Exactly. Here's the thing. So I was reading this article. Like I said, I'm going to go a little bit over because, you know, there was an article that I was reading about how Etsy sellers become official Disney merchandisers, how they're able, you know, you have all these Etsy sellers that they sell all this bootleg shit, right? But
Right.
there's some people who actually aspire to be officially licensed by Disney. And what it turns out, it's an extremely arduous process because they go through, they audit everything that you do, including every piece of merchandise that you've ever done to make sure that you've never infringed on their copyright. So it's like if you make even the slightest bootleg shit, they're not giving you a license, right? In the article, they bring up the fact there's so many Etsy stores selling unlicensed merchandise. And they were Disney, the representative was asked, how come you don't go after these people?
They're slamming them right now.
You know, and well, it depends. But the answer they gave at the time was like, oh, we don't have to. They disappear after 5 years. You know, so there's no reason for us to go after them. We know that within 5 years, most of these stores are going to be gone. The ones that they're slamming are the ones that last longer. Are obviously the ones that are either really egregious in their violations, or they've lasted a little bit longer than they were expecting. It's like, okay, now we have to take you down. You know, so all Disney does is wait for these stores. And true enough, every Etsy store that I bought a custom Disney product from, right? Because, you know, Disney won't make Rocket Raccoon ears, Mickey ears for some reason. So I have to commission that from other people. Every single one of them is gone. They've been gone. If I had wanted to buy something again, they're long gone. You know, so, you know, right. Yeah. Like I said, it depends on how egregious it is, you know, so it's like, so that's the thing though. It's the same thing with comics. How many publishers are you seeing on Kickstarter are going to still be here in 5 years? You know,
how many are still here after last year?
Right, exactly. If the peak of Kickstarter from what we're seeing was the last 3 years because of the pandemic, because now a lot of people are seeing a slowdown. How many people who started during the pandemic are going to be here 2 more years from now? You know? And that's the thing. People read these articles thinking it's like someone set stars in their eyes. And it's like, you know, oh, I'm going to be rich. No, you're not.
Not happening,
there
bro.
it is. Yeah, Tyler. It's like, yeah, no, you're not. It's like all you can do on Kickstarter, on what you do, it's the long road. It's the long game that you're playing. You know, it's like tell a story that people want to read and they want to keep reading. And, you know, treat the people who are reading your stuff with respect by putting your products out on time, by fulfilling when you say you're going to fulfill, you know, and that's what you build up. You build, you know, it's like you build your audience. It's just a slow thing. But you see, but that's the thing, though. Nobody wants to hear that. You know, everybody wants to monetize their shit now. They want to run Kickstarters. They want to run campaigns for books they don't even have, you know, they're not even finished, you know, but they want to make the money now. You know, that's not how
pay
you
me
build
for
an
my
audience.
ideas.
Right. It's like, that's not how it works. it's the long game, you know. And I think that articles like this only encourage the stars in the eyes. I'm going to be a millionaire just by being on this platform. No, you're not. You know, unless you're not even going to be a hundredaire, a dozenaire. You're not even going to even be that. You know, you're more likely to make $0 on Webtoons than you are to make the $225. You know, because, and here's the thing too, we're not even counting how many people drop out. I'm pretty sure I'm not part of this number at all. Any of these numbers. How many people start a Webtoons and then abandon it within a month? You know?
Oh, no, for sure.
You know, so it's like, how many of those are they counting? You know? So it's like, yeah, it's like, yeah, so how many people think that that's like, oh, I'm going to be the next big thing on Webtoons, and they don't even make it the month? You know, can you put out 70 panels a week if you wanted to compete with, if you even wanted to think of competing with the top 10 webcomics on Webtoons? You know, and yeah, and, you know, and that's the thing too. And, you know, it's like, and do you want to put your stuff for free on Webtoons, you know, without having a plan as to how you're going to convert that? Because it's like, that's the reason. It's like, yeah, probably Eagle Raven would do better on Webtoons because now it's in color, but I don't have a plan for how I'm going to convert those eyeballs into Kickstarter sales, into store sales, you know, because I don't know if there's a real pipeline. It's like, yeah, okay. So it's like, yeah, so Tyler got 5K views, but and 20 backers.
Well, I mean, think about it all the time. I mean, those numbers are hidden. Like, what was it? Ego Raven had like 1,850 hits on one Bitly.
Right.
I mean, we see that all the time. Like, the numbers don't.
Right.
If you're not digging deep, you're
right.
You're not getting the full picture.
Nita puts out a Bitly for Ego Raven, right? 1,800 people. 1,800
in
people
3 days
on that link, but only 17 people hit the notify me button. Right? Even when the campaign is going, it's the same thing. I mean, it's like you said you had one Bitly link that had like 25,000.
Yeah, 25,000 clicks.
Holy shit! Imagine if I could convert. It's like how do I convert that?
And I'm thinking out of those, I think it was like about 100 click.
You know,
so I mean, it's
yeah,
like,
probably, yeah. And it's like it's like I'll be extremely.
And then those
grateful.
that click notify aren't always going to be the one. Here, let's go even deeper than that.
Right.
There are going to be a bunch of people that are going to click notify. Guess what? And then they're going to get that notification and email that you've gone live. They're not going to back you.
Right. Yeah.
They're just going to be like, oh, okay.
Right. Yeah. It's like, oh, I can't make it this time or something. You know. I mean,
and that's okay, but I mean, it's just like, let's be real with the numbers. Right.
I mean, and it's like, yeah, and it's like, and remember, it's like my favorite phrase, survivorship bias. Hey, you know, it's you know, survivorship bias or survival bias is the logical error of concentrating on entities that passed a selection process while overlooking those that did not. Fast Company is not going to interview the lowest rated comics on Webtoons. They're not going to do that, you know? So it's like, you know, it's like, I've always, you know, it's like, and another thing that I always like to say, it's like, yeah, okay, study success, but know who you're studying. You know, I mean, because honestly, it's like you learn more from failure than from successful people. You learn more from the people who failed, you know, because you're learning the lessons without learning it yourself. So, you know, that is worth its weight in gold, right? What is a successful person going to tell you? It's like, oh, just work hard and, you know, create a comic that hits the zeitgeist in some level. Oh, that's all I have to do? I just have to found another Google? That's it?
That's it.
I just have to start another Amazon? That's it? You know? It's like, so that's why in the end, I appreciated the last creator saying that it's like what she really has to do for her money. And it's like, you really have to sit down and think, it's like, okay, what is it I really want to accomplish here? What is it? It's like, do I really want to spend 90% of my time stuck at my desk cranking these pages out? You know, and still having to manage a team of people to be able to do this? Do I really want to do that? You know? I mean, it really, so if there was anything, so that's what I really got out of the article. You know, it's like, so when everybody else is like going, oh my God, Webtoons is the future. It's like, really? You know, is it really? You know, I mean, if you have the plan in place, maybe to take advantage of it, but it doesn't guarantee anything, you know, because what I do guarantee is that even though one of the people, they list their comics as a superhero comic and another person is an action adventure, it's not what you're used to seeing in mainstream comics, in traditional mainstream comics. You know, I mean, the number one seller is a romance, you know, mostly talking heads and shit. You know, that wouldn't even be a blip over here if you were to put it in mainstream distribution circles. You know? So it's like, so yeah, so my whole point. So it's like, so in the end, it's like, I'm not saying that Webtoons is misleading or this, well, the article is hella misleading. And you know what? And look, and also the thing is too, is that, you know what? It's like, they say, it's like, oh, it's like, let's not talk about the fact that they're probably ripping off their creators. Like, no, let's talk about that. Because that's how they're making $100 million on this platform, you know, by only paying out 3%. Are you telling me that this tech company and the venture capitalists do 98% of the work? 97% of the work? You know, are you telling me that the platform wouldn't exist without these creators? But they're saying, no, you only get 3%. We're taking the 97. You know? And the funny thing is that Tyler has even mentioned that too about publishing. You know, where it's like, holy shit, you do not want to sell your book here. You know? Because it's like, it's the publisher that makes most of the money, not you. You know, it's the same thing here. Webtoons is making that money. You're not making that money. You still have to figure out how to get those eyeballs to convert. And if Webtoons helps you do it, they're taking a bulk of your money. You know? So yeah. So like I said, that's just how. I mean, there was more about there was more that I want, but you know what? It's like we're already like over almost 15 minutes over. Anyway, but I think I kind of got my point across. Did I? I think you know,
for me it did, but I'm already there. So
right, yeah, you know, but it's like, you know, so yeah, so be very careful when you see articles like this. You know, anything that pretty much says you could be a millionaire by doing X.
Hey, speaking of being millionaires,
what happened?
It's gonna happen, Lage. It's gonna happen. Woo! Yay!
Yay!
You guys are fucking awesome.
We're gonna be dozens. We're gonna be dozens.
We're only 12 months from that day, that first super chat.
Somebody I know,
really. We're gonna 24 ways.
Exactly. You know, that YouTube takes like what they take 25% of that.
I don't even know. I just know that it's like I'm not even gonna approach them for the audit.
Yeah.
If they do it naturally and email me, we'll look into it. If not, I'm not worried. I'm not going back and editing all of our videos. I have this is my money is in selling comics and promoting comics, not YouTube. So
right.
This is a platform to let people know about what we have.
Right. Exactly. You know, so yeah, so like I said, it's like I'm not saying any one of these things is wrong or whatnot. Just be careful, be wary of articles like this. It's like, you know what? It's like, you know what? I know people don't like to hear that. It's like, no, it's not going to be you, but it's not going to be you. You know, I mean, Jose likes to quote Pulp Fiction, and it's like, you know, remember the words of Marcellus Wallace: if it was meant to happen, it would have happened already. You know, that and fuck pride, but you know, but but really though, I mean, look, it's the long game. Look, it's what I was talking about on Friday. This is the long game. If you really enjoy what you're doing, if you have stories to tell, you enjoy telling those stories, that's your strategy. How do I get eyeballs on my stuff? Everything, including figuring out Webtoons, is figure it out to how you can utilize that to get more eyeballs on your work and how you can convert that into people who will become fans of your work.
Right.
And it's like, and how, and it's like, and if you can parlay it into sales and what's not, that's also the thing is, but don't go into this thinking that it's like, oh, I'm going to be a millionaire if I go on Webtoons. It's like, look, that schedule that woman has. I mean, it's like, look, I'm sitting here and I'm like going, you know what? Fuck that shit. I mean, really, this is a big old nope for me.
Well, time is your most valuable asset, period.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So no, just like with the Tankobons, just like with the Webtoon format, know where it's worth to put your effort at any given moment. Yeah, I got the Tankobon thing kind of sorted out. Am I going to work on it? No, I'm not, because it's not worth my time right now. Right now, my time belongs on the book that I'm putting out on Kickstarter. That's where my time is. If everything else, if the opportunity opens up, that's like, okay, now it's time to put together a Tankobon. Now it's time to put together a Webtoons comic. I'll worry about that then. There's a pin in it. We're keeping it in mind.
Right.
But I am not treating it like, oh my God, I have to get this out. I have to get this. No. And that's also another thing too. What are you in a rush for? It's like, because it's a long game.
And for fuck's sake, please, no DMs messaging me about how we were hating on Webtoons. Nobody's hating on Webtoons.
No,
if
I am
Webtoons
not.
works
No.
for you,
Honestly, I'm hating on this stupid article. I'm hating on this extremely misleading article. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, if I'm hating on anything, it's an extremely misleading article. And just like all I'm saying, it's like, look, there is no magic formula for any of this. What? The only magic formula is you do the work. You do the work, you grind, and you hustle, and you analyze the information to see what works best for you. And in the end, that's all you can do. And then you just keep going, until you decide it's not worth it for you anymore. If it ever happens,
Right.
That's just what it is. Look, I've been doing this shit since 1992. Am I a superstar or shit? No, it's like, no, I can almost. Almost. I mean, it's like, I'll be very fortunate if I make 180 backers on my next campaign. I would love to make 180 backers, but it is what it is. I can only put out as much as I can. Remember, you are only entitled to the work you put in, not the end result of it. So that's where my attention lies. Only in the effort. Yeah, we got to get out of here too. Thank you, Tyler. So any final thoughts?
Tune in tonight, 8:30 p.m. Eastern for Shots with Comics. That's Chad Perkins. He has an untitled episode, which is almost more scary.
Yeah, I know, right?
The fact that he's named shit. Well, like, it's like, what's so bad you couldn't say it, dude?
Right. Yeah, I know. You couldn't. You weren't.
Or did he just have a creative brain fart? I don't know. Tune in tonight to find out.
It was beyond inspiration. Right. So there you go. And again, I'm sorry. I must have been talking over you. Go ahead.
No, it's good. We're good.
Oh, okay. All right. So, so thank you everybody for joining us in the chat. Thank you so much for everyone. Like I said, you guys know what I'm talking about. You know. So thank you so much. And yes, and I see you, the 13 people. Thank you so much for hanging out with us till a little bit later, but you know what? I think it was worth it. So thank you so much for that. if you want to learn more about me and my artwork and my campaigns and all that fun stuff, you can head on over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com, EGOWORKS, where you can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites. But I mostly post to Facebook if you're interested in seeing sketches and current work in progress updates. And remember, you can also find me on YouTube with a semi-weekly live stream. Oh, by the way, this Wednesday, I will not have a live stream. I have an appointment. So we'll save that for next time. But you could still catch me on Friday's show, where we will have C and Rodney Fike on talking about Doghouse. So make sure you join.
C won't be making it. He has to go to work because he took off today. So
I see.
I'm gonna go make him do that. There's a whip stuff.
Oh, there you go. There you go. I mean, we'll figure something out. So, but you can join us on Friday. So remember, I have no live stream on Wednesday this week. But you can check out my other videos on YouTube at my channel at Daphne Lage, Lage Art, which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network as well. So make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified. Look at that. Whenever we go live with any of our shows, hit the thumbs up, hit the thumbs down. The algorithm doesn't care. It's all the same to that. And remember, you can read Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn for free. If you want to read Eagle Raven for free, you can read it for free right now on my website at eagleworks.com. Uploads every day in full color, Monday to Friday, or you can download a free PDF of the first 16 pages of issue 1, so you can check that out before the campaign goes live. And speaking of the campaign, make sure that you sign up for the pre-launch page in the show notes below. Look at that beautiful picture. Look,
it's gorgeous.
The Lannings just knocking it out of the park. I swear to God, we're gonna get that whole family working. Soon enough. I'm going to have a whole team of people working on getting Eagle Raven out. But if you prefer your fantasy to be more of a furry Lord of the Rings adventure, you can follow the link over to Tall Tales, TAILSonline.com. And not only can you read the first 20 issues of Tall Tales for free, but you can read a daily upload of the latest story arc, Tears of the Mother. Again, Monday through Friday. Every day, Monday through Friday, daily uploads. You can check that out. And before I forget, for everyone who has supported the Wings of Deirdre, the Oswald Chronicles campaign that closed out, the first books have just gone out today. So you will be getting your rewards. If you pledged to both Tall Tales, the Peacekeepers, and Deirdre and the Oswald Chronicles, we are going to try to combine. We're going to try to catch everything and combine all your orders together. So, because like I said, we have the books coming this week. So, if you ordered on both of those campaigns, we will try to send everything out at the same time. If not, all the orders should be going out this week for the Oswald Chronicles. So, keep an eye out for that. So, thank you so much. So, that's where we're at. We're a little over. The Stoic ancients are up my ass to finish this. So here you go. In the words of the ancients, eat your food, moisturize, mind your business, both literally and figuratively, and do the work, because when you actually do the work, you never have to fake any of your accomplishments. So we'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Beware of averages. And we'll see you later. Ciao.
Bye.